The problem is that in the last sort of 15 years, we've had sort of 14 housing ministers and successive governments. There's been no joint up coherent approach to social housing. And the problem really stems to we're not just not building enough housing. We try and bridge that gap between private landlords and the local authority, and at the same time offer local authorities a good stock of affordable and compliant and safe housing for their tenants. Here at Elliot Leigh, we've identified that one of the biggest problems for tenants and local authority tenants is security of tenure. We're able to offer long-term secure households for these tenants. And at the same time, we're offering long-term guaranteed rent leases for the landlords. So we're taking all the stress out of the landlords. And indeed, we're trying to provide a long-term secure form of housing for the tenants as well, which helps the local authorities and it means tenants can stay within the area, build their lives in that area. About 20 years ago, we were offering properties to local authorities as there was and is now such a need for social housing. We secured a contract with Tower Hamlets and we were one of the last people to do so. And other landlords were approaching us and saying, could you look after our property? And that's really where Elliot Leigh formed. So we became sort of that vehicle to take quality properties from landlords and offer them to local authorities for social housing needs.
We're finding that we're dealing with a lot of families that have been in hotels for a number of weeks, months, and giving them a property that a 2-bed or 3-bed with a garden or a flat. It's really nice to see the end product of a tenant moving in, to know that they can call a place a home when they move into their right area is massive.
My name is Steve Wesley and my job role at Elliot Leigh is the operations manager. Landlords can massively help the social housing crisis at the moment. The amount of landlords that have withdrawn from the market has created a pressure and demand on the rental sector. And what that's meaning is that more and more families are now homeless and needing assistance from the local authorities. These are now including working families that just can't afford the rent anymore due to the rent soaring in London, and we're there to help them basically. Now what we offer landlords as well is that we take a lot of that risk out of that. We guarantee the rent for the landlord, ensure that the property's being looked after, deal with minor maintenance. These are the sort of things that we do that help the landlord and help these families at the same time.
So I'm the placements manager for Elliot Leigh and my role involves placing tenants in properties, sending out availabilities to local authorities, and sometimes we might have tenants moving into an area that they're really unfamiliar with, and that does happen a lot of the time. Everyone has a different story. They have all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of histories, and we meet them when we get to know our clients. Once they come to Elliot Leigh, we want this to be stable and supported for them and nice and comfortable and make it their home living in one of our properties. So we're the first step of their journey for their new life, and we sort of follow that on because we stay in communication with our clients. And it's really nice that you can speak to someone maybe 3 months later, maybe 3 weeks later, and they'll say to you, I'm so happy, I feel so great, thank you, it really helped me moving forwards.
So I've been using Elliot Leigh for around about 10 years now. The reason that I've been with them so long is that they take out the stress of worrying about vacant period, refurbishing the property, inventory check-in, check-out. The day-to-day issues that you get with a tenant, it takes everything out of it. The security, knowing that you're going to get paid every month, they're 100% spot on with communication and they're clear in everything that they do.
My name is Lucy Bray and I am a property manager and compliance administrator. If a tenant had a maintenance emergency, when the office is closed, we've got our emergency line, especially when it's out of hours. We can arrange our maintenance engineers to go to the property, whoever's nearest the area. Having all these options available to the tenant with the tenancy guides, the manuscripts we give them, it helps us build a more personal relationship. We're actually there to try and help their issues and we're not just a robot behind the screen.
My role here at Elliot Leigh is predominantly with the maintenance operatives. With our property inspections, we visit every 3 months. When we're there, we're checking for how the property is being looked after, if it's having any issues, any maintenance requirements. We're also checking for the safety of the tenants, the alarms, that everything is up to date. When a new tenant is going into a property, if it previously had tenants in there before, it's what we call a turnaround service. So we will go into the property, myself mainly, will write up the list of works that need doing ready for a new tenant to come in. Consists mainly of decorating, cleaning, checking that everything's completely safe for the new tenants. And yeah, we do that all in-house with our maintenance operatives and take care of everything.
We're going into a very exciting phase where we're working a lot closer with local authorities, housing associations, government bodies, and we'll now be working with developers to build and procure purpose-built blocks and properties that are specifically built and designed for social housing needs. We've just been invited to sit on the Property Redress Advisory Panel, which meets at the House of Lords 3 times a year. And this is a forum for all markets, all industry heads to sit around the table and see how we can improve both the lot for landlords and for local authorities and indeed for tenants. So we're actively involved in that as well. We also have TLC, which is our childcare services. We're now looking after about 140 young people in very safe and secure environments and offering them a chance.